Hey there, friend of a friend of a friend. Ash here with Gents. Hope you're having an awesome day. There's a thing that's been going around here lately. It's keep 10 fragrances for life, period. So that means all the other keep 10 fragrances for life videos that I did, those don't count because the period, that makes this one the ultimate keep 10 for life video. But I actually want to do things a bit differently. So this is maybe cheating, but I don't want to keep including the same fragrances that I would typically include in a keep 10 fragrances for life. You know what I'm talking about. Dior Homme Intense, Green Irish Tweed. You know the drill. So instead I'm doing 10 fragrances I keep for life, period. 10 fragrances that I really love, but are not the ones that I would typically feature because I want to do it that way. So yeah, let's jump into it. Two honorable mentions this time, guys, and we have niche and designers in here. I hop back and forth between them, so we're gonna have a good mix. The honorable mentions. First one is Dior's Tobacco Color. I haven't really talked about it much since I reviewed it, but I still really like it. Tobacco, honey, smoke, and plum, some of the notes in the fragrance, really enjoyable. Don't mind this purchase a bit. Looking forward to wearing it this fall, so I wanted to mention this one. And then also Xerjov's Luxor from their Oud Stars line. Yeah, tobacco, myrrh, incense, leather, and a bit of oud in here. And the oud in here is ever so slightly fecal, animalic, dirty, poopy, whatever you want to call it. It's got a little bit of that in the opening, but I don't mind it. I think it smells really good. Does that make me weird? Yeah, probably actually. Really nice fragrance though, so I wanted to mention that one as well. But it doesn't make the official list. Very sad. And each one of these fragrances, you know, I will have linked down below in the description in case you want to check them out. And if you shop at Twisted Lily or LuckyScent.com, use the code GENTS10 to save 10% off either website. Both have a ton of niche fragrances and indie fragrances to suit your highfalutin fragrance needs. And if you want to save a whole $8, use the code GENTS8 on JomoShop.com to save $8 off any order over 110. Official list time. We're kicking it off with an iris fragrance. You knew it was coming. You knew it had to be in here. This time, Valentino Uomo Intense is the choice. I told you no Dior Homme Intense, but I didn't tell you no Valentino Uomo Intense. Sorry about that. Iris, Tonka, vanilla, and leather. Some of the notes in the fragrance, it does have a similarity to Dior Homme Intense. So this is my way of jobbing the rules that I already jobbed. Yeah, sorry about that. This does smell absolutely fantastic though. Valentino Uomo Intense very well may be the best Valentino Uomo fragrance of all time. They may never touch this greatness again, in my opinion. Although if you're a younger guy just looking for compliments, then you're gonna disagree with me on that, I'd say, and say, no, dude, Born in Roma's better. Valentino Uomo Intense, that's my first choice. After that, Ganymede. Yeah, I really dig this. Could you tell by my weird way I just said yeah? Ganymede is a fragrance that I did not buy into the hype of because I had not smelled it. I didn't want to buy into the hype, then I smelled it, and I gave in. I gave into the hype. Really dig this one. Actually, it's my scent of the day today. It has this awesome minerality to it, this great like sparkling freshness that's clean and brisk, and yet at the same time has a good amount of depth to it. It's very modern, but then it also smells somehow nostalgic at the same time to me. You have a really nice suede leather note in here as well. As it dries down, violet and saffron come out and they're more discernible. You can pick them out a little bit easier than you can in the opening when that minerality is really going full force. Love Ganymede, ultra versatile, so definitely want to keep that. Then I gotta have good old Wanted by Night, just a nice staple fragrance of mine. Always have dug this. Really good for the price, just a solid fall and wintertime fragrance, great at pulling compliments. This one has a good amount of sweetness, though not as much as in the Most Wanted and the Most Wanted Parfum, those having more of a gourmand feel than this one does. It's got cinnamon, tobacco, vanilla fruits, and incense as some of the notes in the fragrance. Wanted by Night, been a staple for a long time, so why not keep it as a staple? And then the next one is a big time versatile fragrance, big time compliment puller, great performance, great versatility, a lot to love about it. Intense Cedar Boisé. Really love what they did with this fragrance. It is that evolution of the DNA and also the little things. I like the new bottle. You know why? It has a magnetic cap. It doesn't always go on right. There we go. And it's got a really nice pressurized atomizer. I like what Mancera has done. Just these little tweaks to the presentation. Some people may not like it, but I think it's better. So it's got citrus, black currant, leather, spices, woods as some of the notes in the fragrance. Really packs a wallop, but at the same time, to me, is a little bit smoother, a little bit richer, than the original, maybe even slightly more elegant, at least as much as this DNA can be. So love this one, I'm gonna keep that. Oh, this next one is a really good one in my opinion. It's low DC pour homme, Noir Ombre from Issey Miyake. Also, gotta put this one in here because Issey Miyake just passed away a few days ago. So rest in peace, F's in the chat. Issey Miyake, some amazing fragrances. So always sad to hear about that. You know, we've been losing a lot of people here lately. I say lately, I mean in the last little while, I don't know. Mugler, Kenzo, Issey Miyake. Thankfully, you've begun to be able to pick this up at discounters again for a decent price. I think in like the $70 to $80 range, which is actually really good for this scent because for a long time you couldn't find this at all. And the only place you could find it was people selling it on eBay for like $200-300. I don't know about you guys, but I'll take $70 over $300. Like that sounds like a pretty good deal. Leather, amber, vanilla, saffron, some of the notes in this fragrance. One of the best smelling designer ambers pretty much ever. It's one of Issey Miyake's higher end fragrances and it absolutely smells like it. The quality is insane for a designer. This stuff is fantastic. So absolutely keeping that. Now the next fragrance is a little bit different. So most of the ones I've picked so far, they have a good compliment factor. They kind of punch out of their weight class a bit. So they smell a little bit higher quality than you would expect for the price point. They have good performance generally. Well, really all these do so far. This next one does not. Its performance is not great. It's the weakest of everything I'm going to talk about here today. It sits pretty close to the skin, but it makes an awesome scent for those days where maybe you don't really want to wear something overly heavy, whether it's because you want to have something just low key, but still very classy smelling. So it's from Diptyque and it is Tam Dao. This is the Eau de Toilette. This is very woody. It has sandalwood, it has cypress, it has cedar, it has rosewood. Also has a really nice spiciness to it, a little fresh, a nice little burst, especially when you first spray this stuff on. And maybe it doesn't make a lot of sense when you would look at that note breakdown and see wood, 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 wood. You would think, well, I mean, it should really have a punch to it, right? Nah, it actually sits, like I said, pretty close to the skin early on. The longevity is okay. It's just your projection is not gonna be beastly. But that one is a 10 out of 10 for me in terms of how classy it comes across, how nice that comes across, and it's very versatile as well. So a really nice change of pace scent. So that's why I'm going with that. All right, gotta get some freshies in here. So there's a couple freshies coming up. I've got Artisan Pure here from Barbados. I know that some people think that this was hyped too much, that it doesn't live up to the hype, but I still really enjoy this for spring and summertime. It's like this great melding of citrus and white florals is how it comes across to me. Looking at the note breakdown, it's like citrus, 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 and not really so much of the white florals. But when I smell it, that's how it smells to me. It's not like all the way on the side of neroli orange blossom, but it's also not all the way on the side of tangerine, clementine, grapefruit, etc. It meets somewhere in the middle. It's got bits and pieces of both. There's also Petitgrain in here. There's ginger, there's woods, there's musk. It's very, very clean, super easy to wear. And like the fragrance that came before it, I feel like really classy as well. So solid choice for warm weather. Now, like I said, there's another fresh one coming up, but I gotta hit you with this one next. It's Mystery Tobacco from Carolina Herrera. This is my newest pickup of everything here. I paid close to $220, $230, something like that. US for it from Fragrance Buy, and I don't regret it a bit. This stuff has grown on me like an insane amount just in the past week and a half or two. So this could be recency bias because I did just get it in not long ago and I've been wearing the heck out of it and really loving it. That's entirely possible, but I really, 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 really like it. So this coming fall and winter is gonna get worn out. Tobacco, Tonka, Guaiac wood, patchouli, and cedar. Some of the notes in the fragrance, similar to red tobacco, similar to Carlisle from Mancera and Parfums de Marly. But of the three, I'd rather wear this one. It doesn't have as much of that chemical synthetic overload in the opening as red tobacco does. It's a little bit sweeter to me than Carlisle is. And somehow the tobacco, Tonka, Guaiac combination here comes across just overall more pleasant smelling than those two as well. Now that is not a shot at red tobacco or Carlisle. I like both those fragrances a bunch, but Mystery Tobacco is something else. Like if you like that style of DNA, that type of fragrance, check this stuff out. Sample it first. It's expensive. Actually, I did that. I sampled it first, got some from Scent Split ran through it, bought the bottle. Okay, Freshie, once again, going with Terre d'Hermes Eau Givre. I really, really love the opening of this fragrance a lot. So as citron, as the citrus note here, a little bit different, little change of pace compared to your more typical bergamot or grapefruit opening. The citron here is a little bit more like that light blue forever, light blue Italian love type citrus, in that it comes across a little more natural smelling than a lot of other designers do. And I really like that. Like, that's my stuff, that's my jam. Enjoy that a bunch. A little bit rindy, but not too much. It actually doesn't go as far down that path as the two light blue fragrances do. So if you don't like that natural smelling citrus and the style of those light blue fragrances, this still might work for you because it's not as far as those are. It doesn't take it as far. Ooh. Man, it smells good though. So classy. I know a lot of these fragrances have a classiness to them, but I feel like if I'm only gonna keep 10, I wanna make sure that I get that versatility where I could wear it in more formal situations, but it would easily be pulled off in casual situations too, you know? So they've got like a sprinkling of classiness to them. They don't go all the way into that style, you know, not super buttoned up and fuddy-duddy, but still with it, like I said, a sprinkling of class. Sophistication, opulence. Also got juniper in here, woods, pepper. It has a bit of that Terre d'Hermes DNA. You can pick it up, but it is absolutely not as flinty, not as earthy at all as the Terre d'Hermes fragrances that came before it. Love this stuff. Last fragrance. It's another one that maybe, like Artisan Pure, some people would say does not live up to the hype, because this is a fragrance that absolutely got people riled up, got people talking about it, got people hyped. It's from Nishane and it's Ani. So why does this one make the list for me? Well, I love vanilla. That is pretty much it. It's that simple. I love vanilla a lot. One of my favorite notes, especially when it's done in a really forward way in a fragrance. When a fragrance is kind of built around vanilla and the vanilla note really shines, love that. And this does that really well. There's other stuff in here. There's citrus, there's woods, there's benzoin, so you have resins in there mixing together with the vanilla, but make no mistake, it's a vanilla scent. And I don't mean that like it's a boring scent, because some people use that as a play on words and say vanilla, oh, that means boring. No, I mean vanilla like actual vanilla, dude. Interestingly enough, it is not my favorite from the house. That would be Sultan Vetiver, but I didn't want to include that because then that would be me doing what I said at the beginning I didn't want to do. So I picked another one from the house that I really like because of a focus on a note that I really like. Ani, vanilla, Sultan Vetiver, they do them both really well. That's why it's here. But if you're not a fan of fragrances that are like that, fragrances that are, you know, centered around that note, vanilla, and then everything else built around it, you may not like this one. Keep that in mind. There we have it. Keep 10 for life, period. Remix. Ultra edition, 10th edition of Keep 10 for Life. I've done a bunch of them, and I feel like in the future there will be many more. But for now, this is what we're rocking with. Thank you guys for hanging with me, and let me know in the comments below some of the fragrances that you would keep if you could only keep 10 for life, period. Actually, maybe switch it up. Maybe go with something that's not your immediate knee-jerk fragrance or fragrances, because that's what I try to do here. All right, guys, I am out of here. Thank you for hanging with me. Thanks for your support. Stay safe out there. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys later. Why can't I speak English today?